Wow, there were quite a few things that surprised me while I was creating these books. As I was writing down from my notes all of the different things I wanted to include, because life doesn't ever stop. We still have challenges in our lives, even though we have overcome them and learned different strategies. But one thing that surprised me is that I still felt like the information, the ideas, the strategies that I outline in the book, I found they were good reminders for me, because even as I was writing the books, I found that there were different things that had come up, challenges again that popped their ugly heads up, and they were just good reminders for me in terms of, especially for the No Fear, Just Believe book, where it has those prayer strategies and those declaration strategies and scriptures to really meditate on, to conquer these evil forces that will try to combat anything that you're trying to do for God. I felt like those were just good reminders. As I was writing it out, I'm just thinking, yes, I need to keep declaring, keep meditating on that scripture. So those are things that were I would say kind of surprised me. They were still good reminders, even though I had found them to help me overcome a lot of challenges. They are still relevant. Well, that is a great question on where did I get the information or my ideas for the books. I got them from my life, particularly for the book, Lord, I Need an Upgrade. It came out of challenges that I had gone through, from relationship challenges to financial challenges to business challenges. I have just started to get to a point where the same old way of addressing things was not working. As a Christian, you seek out others who may have walked the road a little bit longer than you have. And then I started to see that a lot of them also didn't know either what else to do. They had become a point where they were at their limit. All they knew was just to pray, keep praying. But I've learned through these challenges that it's more than just reciting scriptures and just praying a little harder and just having, everybody, at church or at your synagogue praying for you. It's about actually being intentional and taking in the scriptures, intentionally fasting against and breaking down strongholds, and bringing in the word, not only in just one area or pasting a scripture in your car or just a quick prayer before you leave for work, but throughout the day, being intentional and calling down strongholds and really being persistent in this walk. And that's what it spurred from for both of the books, as well as No Fear, Just Believe. I feel that they both can have the same reader, either for both books, Lord, I Need an Upgrade, and for No Fear, Just Believe. Now, Lord, I Need an Upgrade does have, as somewhat you can probably tell from the cover, it has more florals in it. So one might say that it's more for more addressed towards women, but just really more in terms of the design, maybe more women probably like the design than guys, because of lots of the florals. But the essence of both books could go for both male and female. And it may be something where Lord, I Need an Upgrade, may be something that a wife could have, and then of course be working with her husband, connecting with him on the different points that I go over, since it does have more florals. But both books again have similar stances on how to address the challenges in your life, and they're really both for the person, male or female, who's tired of the status quo, for lack of a better phrase, who are looking for not to just stick another band-aid on top of a situation and to just stick another just scripture and be just repeating a scripture verbatim and hoping for the best. It's for the person who is tired of being tired of situations constantly coming up, tired of being in this cyclical hamster wheel of challenges that really are becoming at them because of the enemy, and because God doesn't want that for our lives. So that's who the ideal reader is. Are these my first books? No, they're my first books in the genre of like faith-based books and prayer journal, prayer books. They are, in that case, my first books in that area. But I did another book years ago called Rebuilding a Jewel, which was based on my career work in historic preservation, and it also kind of chronicled work I did in different countries, in Israel, in Louisiana, the United States, and then also in England. So that was my first book, and it was more about my work professionally. Well, I'll address first, Lord, I Need an Upgrade, my favorite part in that book. It starts off and you can choose, as you go through it, you can choose what week of the year, of course, that you're starting something. I have it set up in weekly messages, and so you can just put whenever you get to this point and put the week, the date of the week that you started. I even give you a praise list that you can, because God tells us to praise. Praise should be constantly on our mouths. So I give you a place where you can do praises, your praise playlist that you may be playing in your car. But I'm going to read quickly. This is one of my favorite parts, and I talk about the importance of a spiritual upgrade. Life can throw us some extreme heartache and rough patches. I remember several years ago, I had a coworker whose house had burned down. None of us knew it until we were in a meeting discussing some work goals for the upcoming year. As we discussed the hard parts of possibly implementing our goals, our coworker reminded us that we only needed to do our best, because we never know what may end up happening that could cause us to change course. He then mentioned that his family's house had just burned down, but he still felt it was important to come to work because he knew God was working out everything, even as he worked to balance checking in with insurance agents and attending a state-level teachers meeting in one day. This coworker definitely had upgraded his spiritual life with God so that he did not become despondent or doubtful about God when trouble came. And that's one of my favorite parts of that, in that